which is the 32 Charter Street. Christopher Olson on behalf of the owner has done a this is an application to renovate and redesign the existing first floor.
Thank you very much.
Extending the residential use into the basement space, which is due to the unit, a glass door emergency egress, which is installed to passageway from a basement bedroom. There are currently 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom unit. The appeal seeks permission to increase the bathroom unit from 1 to 5. So as you can see, we are over our time. So what we'll do is we will have a 5-minute presentation on this project, then we will take approximately 10 minutes for questions and comments.
Bill Ferrullo, I represent Chris Olson, owns this condominium. Chris has a family obligation. He's going to try to make it before we get out of here. I'm running way longer. I'll go forward. I handed out some plans to try to explain what it is that Chris is proposing. The condominium in question at 32 Charter Street is up, I believe it's 5 steps when you go up to the building to go into it. The condominium owns the space in the basement as well. That space in the basement is approximately 510 square feet. He's proposing to cut through the floor of the first floor into the basement to use the 510 square feet as part of the condominium. Currently, it takes a little looking at these plans, but if you look at the plan, you can see some dotted lines as well as fully blackened lines. The dotted lines are indicating existing condition. So, for example, at the top of it, you're going to see a staircase. That doesn't exist there now, and you can see a dotted line above the staircase. That's a wall that is there now where there's a bedroom. So where that 3rd bedroom is on the 1st floor, that'll come out and the staircase will connect it to the 510 square feet in the basement. The proposal is for a couple of things. Update the unit, number 1. The unit currently has 3 bedrooms and 1 bath. He's proposing that it continue to have 3 bedrooms, but that each bedroom has its own bath. And there's a half bath off the living room, dining area, so you don't have to go through a bedroom if you want to use the bathroom from the kitchen to dining area. The square footage, as mentioned, adds about 510 square feet to bring this up to about 1,400 square feet for the unit. He is planning to market this for sale. The intention of the marketing that's been done so far is to encourage a family use. We have some of the other owners of the building here tonight. The condominium association is undertaking a rewrite of the condominium documents to do a couple of things to avoid the problems, things like Airbnb. They will be adding requirements that leases in the units in that building be at least for 1 year. They also want to be more stringent than city regulation. The city regulation allows 4 unrelated people to live in the unit. They want their condominium documents to have no more than 3 unrelated people living in the unit. Chris has participated in that, is agreeable to that. They would very much like to see a live-in ownership situation, that someone owns it, lives in it, etc. He's also went into that idea and saying that he intends to sell and not rent this. It is currently a rental unit. It doesn't lend itself to a family because of the restriction on the 1 bathroom that it currently has. So the violation we have in the Board of Appeal is for floor area ratio, which to explain has to do with the amount of living space that's in a building. Lot then has a 3.0 floor area ratio. Please, as soon as you fall asleep, I'll stop talking about it. But it means that building living area is supposed to have a ratio to the size of the lot. In the north end, most buildings almost occupy all of the lot, very little open space. This building has a little bit, a couple of areas on the lower level, and it's a 4-story building. So currently, the architect didn't give us a calculation, but I used the assessor's site before I came tonight. Currently, it's about a 3.2, 3.24 floor area ratio as it is right now. His unit on the first floor is just over 900 square feet. Two middle units are about 1,200 square feet because of the staircases, and the top unit's a little larger than that. So when you do that calculation, the current building size is about 3.2, 3.24 floor area ratio. The 500 square feet brings it up to about 3.5 for a floor area ratio. So it increases the floor area as determined by the Instructional Services Department. It requires that you go to the Board of Appeal, even though the building is already above the 3.0. If you increase it, you have to go to the Board of Appeals and ask for a variance. So that's why we're here tonight. And as I said, we do have some of the other owners in the building here present.
Thank you, Attorney Brewer. Does anyone have any questions about this project? Questions? Okay, comments? Comments? There's a butters. Oh,
Did you want to take butters first?
it doesn't really make any difference. You can comment if you want.
Okay, well, I did have a question. You're saying that, are you the owners, other owners of the building? Or what does it take to modify your condo documents?
We're in that process now. We had a condo meeting last night to express our concerns about the building and how it may change. Our biggest concern, not so much with Chris, because we could only, he's worked well with us in the past, but I think our concern and the abutters' concern is what happens after Chris, if he does sell it. Like I said, we're confined by what the laws are, but we're trying to push it as much as we can to maintain only 3 unrelated adults in there at any one time. Like I said, we're working to change these documents to accomplish that because we don't want to live in a building with the number of rental units, being 2 to begin with. We're hoping for a family, but there's a 3-bedroom upstairs and a 3 downstairs. So the owner, the one other that left, is the same feeling that we have. We support it because it will improve the building as a whole in terms of renovation. But we're, cautious to the fact that what it will become if a family doesn't take it.
So,
Yeah.
Excuse me, if you wouldn't mind, if you're the abutter who's in the
What do you
comment?
want me to stand up?
Sure, yeah, if you wouldn't mind and just introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Frederick Luxace, my wife Lisa. We live on the 2nd floor unit. The gentleman that left is Ryan, and he lives there with his wife and new twins. He's on the 3rd floor. So as I said, our concern is not so much with Chris, because we've had a good relationship with him to this point. Our concern is what happens after. If it isn't sold to family, it's going to become a rental unit again, which it already is now, but there'll be work. It'll be probably a lot nicer than what it is now, because it's quite old. But like I said, we're trying to address it through the condo documents, but, the laws of the state, are going to restrict what we can do. I mean, we could, like you say, only 2 people, but, we have to be somewhat practical, and that's where we are right now. So hopefully these condo documents, the other owners are going to look at them. We made our comments, do another iteration and get it to a lawyer, and we'd like to get it done and implemented before any construction proceeds.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes.
MJ Schultz, 300 Commercial Street.
Sure.
I saw this plan at the ZLC meeting, and my concern is that the plan as shown doesn't jive with what the owner says he intends to do, in that there is access from Charter Street to the lower unit. It's a little convoluted, but there are open doorways. And I was assured that, no, you really couldn't just access the lower bedroom from the street. But why doesn't he show that on the plan? Because the plan matches his marriage. I think it does show.
That's through here.
You can go right through.
Well, I think that's record was
Wait,
here.
you're referring again to the basement
That
drawing?
indicated that the
So the
access.
basement, so the way it's structured now, the entrance that she's referring to on Charter Street leads to 2 storage areas. There's 3 storage areas currently in the building. There's 2 in the front, which are access to the stairs. In the front of the building, outside, off of Charter Street. Each of those storage units has a locked door. The storage area, if you go down the stairs, abuts my storage area, which you have to enter from inside the building. There's a wall there that stops short of the electrical panel. So if somebody was to go through that front door, they'd have to get through Ryan's storage area, shimmy between the wall to get to my storage area, and then, you know, somehow get the padlock off on the inside to enter the living area or the building that would access the inside. So yes, her drawings don't show solid partitions, but that's how it's set up right now.
It looks like there's a passageway entrance to the basement. And is that the lower level you're referring to?
So which one are we referring to
Passageway.
there?
Right, Jack is looking for one right here. Yeah,
No,
there's a
yeah,
door,
so that-
passageway.
Yeah,
You're reading where
the
it says
bottom
passageway.
drawing in the front does not represent the way it is now. So yes, she's correct that that's not an accurate representation of the layout that currently exists.
With Jansen passageway, a door will be installed there as an emergency egress from the basement. That passageway leads between the buildings there out to Union Place.
All right, then I misunderstood. So he plans on putting in a door, glass door.
At the far end.
If you look at the drawing,
It's right here.
yeah, if you look at the bottom, there's a passageway that is an emergency egress that right now the building has access to by the current door that enters the courtyard, if you see that in the drawing. And then that would go through a lock gate onto Unity Street. He's proposing taking advantage of an alley between, or not an alley, just a little indent between 2 buildings. The building that abuts us, I guess it would be on Salem Street, that also is abutted by units on Unity Street, that they all share this common passage to get out onto a lock, through a lock gate onto Unity Street. That question was called? And that's what that is.
Any other comments?
I just want to say, I think it's a little specious to suggest this is going to be for a family when the living room is 8 feet wide and it's widest and it has a staircase coming through the middle of it. That's not a family apartment.
That is our concern as well, and that's why we're trying to address it through, like I said, there's only so much we can do. You know, he's got a right to make money, we can only do so much to, you know, protect ourselves. Working with Chris, like I said, if he stays the landlord, we don't really have that many concerns. If it's sold, you know, then it's only up to what we can enforce in the condo doc.
Sure.
Because we don't want it in trouble,
Any
just
other
like that.
Correction on the.
I mean, we want, this is our home, and we don't want it to change, but there's only so much we can do, and that's what we're trying to do. And if it becomes a problem, then we just go through legal authorities to make trouble for the owner.
Bill, maybe you can clarify where the living room is?
No, I think the reading of the A is the ceiling height. If you
No,
look-
I'm looking at a door which is probably 36 inches wide and it's a little more than double that. It isn't a door. If you look at the door on the lower level going into the bedroom,
Down below?
yeah, the door going into the master bedroom, it might be 32 inches, it's probably 36. And then you have a less than 2, that is again in the wall.
Right, and you have the above area as well.
Pardon?
Above area, sitting area as well.
I understand, but you have, that's wide state, and there's a 3-foot staircase coming down it. So it's more like a 5, if you look at where that little sofa is, it's probably 5 feet.
Well, but again, what you're not seeing is you'd be looking under the staircase will be coming in.
I understand, I understand.
Any other comments from anyone? Yes, possible.
Condo documents can be changed and violated, and they are all the time. Good luck. Good luck.
Look, I understand
More
that.
work for you.
I understand that, you know, but like I said, there's only so much we can do as owners. Right?
If there are no other comments, okay, then.
Here's the owner right here. Why don't you address those concerns to him and see what he says? He's, the owner of record represents this LLC, so ask him.
I'm sorry, but we really don't have any more time.
So it's not that important.
I think it's been, people have seen the plans, we've explained your position, I think it's pretty clear, I think.
But he's the owner, maybe he should speak. I mean, what's 5 more minutes if everyone's
Well,
concerned?
5 more minutes is, we've got a presentation that people have come here for the distance to make, so I think
Okay.
we'll take a vote right now. Would somebody like to make a motion?
I move to vote. Supporter of those.
Okay, anybody second that?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Here we have one ballot. Wait a minute, what are we voting for? You are voting to either support them getting a variance to change it. It's on the agenda. It is currently 3 bedrooms and 1 bath. They are seeking permission to increase the number of bedrooms from 1 to 3.5 by going into the basement space. So is it clear to everyone? So if you support that change and vote to support, oppose that change, you vote to oppose.